Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome back to my channel. So we are actually going over to my sister's house tonight or this afternoon to have some food and watch the Kentucky Derby. So I thought I would do my makeup with you guys because I read a really interesting study. So I'm looking crazy with nothing on my face but eyebrows. I don't know why that is. I mean, it just looks nuts when you just have eyebrows on and nothing else. So, I want to look really dewy today. Just in the mood. So, I'm going to spray a little bit of my Lila Bee on. I'm also going to use it on my sponge. So, the study that I read was in Life Extension magazine. It was super interesting. Probably not for everyone. I'm one of those rare ones that just really enjoy reading and learning the latest kind of science that there is available in functional medicine especially. So I'm going to use my sponge today, and I sprayed it with a little bit of Lila Bee, and I'm stamping, like using a dotting motion, stamping motion. So the article was about aging and what is happening. Strong muscles equals strong brain. So the premise is of the study that if you have strong musculature, this aids in the brain functionality as we age. So lifting weights becomes even more important as we approach the backside of life. I know that may sound iffy, and women always get afraid, in my opinion, that they'll become bulky or muscly under kind of the fat layer. They don't want to look bigger than they do. I've heard this quite often. So my thoughts are, it kind of just writes itself over time. I lift a lot of weights. Lots. And I lift pretty heavy. And I lifted when I was 80 pounds heavier. What kind of happens is that the musculature comes out as the fat melts away. I didn't really notice. It's kind of a myth that, I mean, I even said it when I was young. I didn't want to lift a lot of weights, heavy weights, on top of whatever body weight I was carrying. I wasn't always having weight issues throughout my life. So it wasn't always, something forefront in my mind. But especially after the injury, to strengthen my body and everything else, I wanted to squat, do weights, arm weights, back, weights for my back, weights for my belly, weights for core. I mean, there's all kinds of machinery and free weight kind of that you can do. So, the study is just pointing out how every single part of our body as we age is kind of working, well, our bodies are always working in harmony. It's whether we listen to it or not is kind of the thing. Do we know how to listen to it? And it becomes critically important to listen as we age, because the volume of what your body is telling you gets cranked up because it's been slowly screaming at you over time and you didn't listen. So over time, the urgency becomes more. So it cranks up its music over time. So once your back hurt once a week, or when you worked out really hard and went after it, now it hurts constantly. Your knees hurt once in a great while if you are really having a long day and pushing, and now they're screaming at you all the time. It's because you didn't listen to the early music of what it was trying to tell you. Our muscles are so important and vitally important as we age. Muscle health, believe it or not, helps you, works for you when you sleep at night. The old adage of make my muscles work for me is absolutely 100% true. It's good science, a lot of studies behind it. When you have healthy muscles, they work for you in the night. Remember, the only time our brain repairs itself and does repairs for the body is in REM. That's it. And every time you wake up in the night, the process is stopped and has to be restarted as you approach REM, get into REM again. So the vital importance of sleeping through the night, 8 hours as we age, just becomes more and more critical because we're aging, so we have more things to repair. So if our muscle health is up there, the body and the brain at night can concentrate on other vital repair issues other than trying to help weak muscles. A good musculature helps in digestion, helps in your posture, dare I say, helps your sex life, helps your sitting, your standing, your long-term standing. There is so much muscle that we have, and there's so much going on. The body's always very, very busy, even though we don't know it or recognize it. It's constantly doing something. It's constantly in motion. The cells are speaking to each other. And all this goes on without seeming our knowledge. Our cells are communicating with each other through water. So, to have good muscle health, i.e. in the study, to have good brain health, which cuts our risk of Alzheimer's and dementia in half. Half, ladies and gentlemen, half. I'm not telling you that you have to jump out of your house, run to a gym, or join a gym. Buy a couple hand weights. Working out can either be as complicated or as simple as you make it. 30 minutes of walking per day can change your entire body's health structure. We all got 30 minutes to give, whether we admit it to ourselves or not, and I have a pretty hefty busy schedule with the training, the writing, the training in the gym, the work, the child, the husband. We're busy. I'm busy. But in amongst all that in my week, on a daily, I have 30 minutes to give myself to do something for myself. Do I always want to? Hell no. I don't want to. I don't know. As much as I work out and I'm in the gym, I don't even know a ton of people that just love to work out, that they love to sweat, that they love how it feels. I've heard tons of people say that they feel better after they work out, like once they get home and they shower and get cleaned up, so that they feel they notice the dip. And I'm happy for those people. Me, I'm working out in evening time. I don't notice any difference. It doesn't make me feel better right on the spot when I'm done. Matter of fact, it makes me feel yucky because I'm hot, I'm sweaty, I'm sore if I've really pushed it. I don't think it's that fun, honestly. I never have. But what I do know for a fact is that I want to age well. I want to know the ins and outs of the disease process. I want to fully understand what is happening to my body, why it's happening, what is happening to my brain and my organs. I want to know the information, all the information that I possibly can, to keep myself healthy. I have a young child. I have a lot of years left. And I want to be vital. And I want to be, as I get makeup out of my nose, I want to be healthy. Now, what does working out does get me later, not like right after the workout, or just say as an encompassing whole, is my energy is up all the time. I do not nap. I don't need to nap. A body in balance doesn't need naps. Age is not a factor. It never has been. This whole, oh, I've got to run and take a nap thing is not because you're aging. It's because you're not in balance as you age. My husband does not nap. My 11-year-old does not nap. Meaning, I know young children that actually nap. I'm not trying to rewrite history about napping. You know, if you have to nap, then nap. What I'm pointing out is, if you are where you need to be inside, you get enough sleep, you eat clean, except for cheat day, you drink enough water, you work out, you use your muscles, you strain yourself. A few times a week is better than no times a week. Say you nap now and you start this process. One day, you'll find out you don't need to nap anymore. You just won't even think about it. It won't even come into your head, I need to nap. It just won't. remember, the bad thing about napping is you're interrupting the repair cycle that happens when we're in REM. You're confusing your body clock about what's going on at what particular time that it's going on. These are all just bits of information so you guys can put together your own body clock, your own body health, what feels best for you, what feels right for you. If you cannot strain when you're working out, then don't. Ask your doctor. Ask a good functional doctor. How much can I do? But I promise you, there's probably nobody out there that cannot just walk or lift a 2-pound weight while you sit and watch TV. And it may sound like 2 pounds will not get you anywhere, but trust me, it will. Over time, because it takes time. It's been 1.5 years now since I've changed my body and how we live, how we eat, how I live, how I eat. But I did it for the entire family. And I'm still not done. So this is time. It's an investment, and it happens over time. And then one day you look down and you went from a 23, 24 to a 7, 8. I'm not even for sure I remember wearing a 7, 8 in high school. And when I picked them up, jeans or shorts, I was shopping for some summer items because I don't have any items in the summer time that fit me. I just threw them all out, meaning I took them to the donation box. And I'm picking up a 7, 8 thinking, I don't see how I could get my body into these clothes. And I wore a 2X tops. 2X, ladies and gentlemen. 2X. My frame is large, but it's not supposed to be that large. Now I wear mediums, and they fit me just fine. I do have implants, which makes me have bigger boobs, which makes me not fit into smalls per se, but I believe if I didn't have implants, I probably could wear a small top. Which just sounds crazy when you start out one thing and you end up another thing. My muscles are healthy. They could always be healthier. Have I hurt myself pushing my muscles? Yeah, I have. I hurt my trap recently. I pulled it. It wasn't, I wasn't crippled, but I did a number on it. I can't avoid all the pains when I'm pushing hard. And sometimes I get a little freaked out about it. I'm not gonna lie and pretend like I'm just all G.I. Jane or whatever, because I'm not. What frustrates me in the process is the slowness. Yes, I've made great changes, but the slowness of my final front gut weight and my back fat drive me crazy. There's no bigger flaws on the planet that I do not like is back fat. I love women's backs, and medically, technically, we're supposed to have a little bit of bone showing. I'm supposed to have collarbones, which is hard to see on camera, but I actually do have collarbones now. I have wrist bones that stick out. You're supposed to see a little bit of bone on your body when you're in your proper height and weight proportionate. That's how you can tell. I mean, yes, you can go by your BMI, but it gets real rough. The BMI is so outdated. Do they still use it? Sure enough, they sure do. But it is super duper outdated. It doesn't quantify for large frames. It don't. It doesn't care if you're 5'2" or 5'10". It doesn't care. It's a chart. So I always say take the BMI with a grain of salt. Don't let it get you down. And keep pushing. These studies I read all connect to the body is a connective source of harmony. Your brain, your eyes, your nose, it's all connected, always talking to each other, your muscles. When your muscles are not toned, you're taking time off of, your body's not able to function at its peak level. So just realize that a little bit of weights, especially as we age, think about your brain, take those omega-3s. You can take 2 or 3 a day. It will not harm you. It will only help you. Eat real fat, good fat. Don't be afraid of meat. Don't be afraid of butter, real grass-fed cow butter. These good fats is what kept us healthy way back in the day when nobody even knew these issues were issues. I always say to you guys, what kept us alive back in the day when everyone didn't have access to doctors and medications? How did we survive? How did we have kids? How did we give birth without such high order intervention, painkiller, epidurals? How did we do it all? How did we drop a kid out on the prairie and then keep working? I'm not for sure how this all happened. What I do know is that was how evolutionary we stayed alive. We worked hard. They ingested no toxins, 0. That's why generally they were healthy. They weren't getting ear infection kids. They weren't getting tonsillitis children. The things that we suffer from nowadays, my grandparents as children did not suffer from. You have to ask yourself why. Why didn't my grandparents suffer from these issues? Well, because when they were children, it was the early 1900s. Yes, I'm dating myself. They didn't have 409. They didn't have food dyes in their food chain. They didn't have bread that sat on a shelf for 2 weeks and remained okay to eat. Think about this stuff. It's amazing what happens to us because of our toxic burden. This is why we lose hormones at a faster rate. This is why we have more cases of Alzheimer's and dementia in this time period. This is not just about your DNA. Your DNA scientifically only points the way. Remember, every single study I read does not say, oh, you got that because of your genetics. What it does say is that if you are kind of set up to get something because of your genetics, it just means that your due diligence should be on a higher level. Let's eliminate what, say breast cancer is in your genetics. Then do not put toxic deodorant in your armpit right next to a lymphatic system that's connected to your entire body. Do you think the ladies on the prairie were putting deodorant in their armpits? No. And is some of this technology that we have, did it help us or hinder us? Sometimes I struggle with, did it actually help humans on a whole? I'm not for sure it all did. What I do know is, sure, it's nice not to smell people when I'm at work because they wear deodorant. Sure, it's great. But if I could have saved one person, one woman, from getting breast cancer by just simply smelling their body odor, I would have smelled 5,000 chicks' body odor just to save them from breast cancer. Meaning the toxins in deodorant coupled with DNA that's pointing the way. Think about your hairspray. You're sucking that in when you spray your hair. Everything, like I said in the last video, it's a levels. When you reach your tip over, that's when you reach it. And then the bad cells that we all produce take over because you've tipped yourself over the burden level. The key is never reach the tipping point. So we want strong muscles to help our brain age easier, better. We want strong a body. Why do we want a good brain as we age? Well, as I was talking about on the last video, we want a good brain because I don't like forgetting everything. I don't like having to not be able to recall stuff at will. Sometimes I still struggle with, oh my gosh, who said what? You said that? I didn't hear you. Or I don't remember. Which one is it? Sometimes I ask myself, is it that I really didn't hear him or I just didn't remember? Now, having a balanced body makes my recall much better than it used to be. I told you guys I forgot everything. I still struggle with some issues, for aging recall. So what do I do about that? Omega-3 to make sure I'm helping out the situation the best I possibly can by feeding my brain good fat. What does your brain use as fuel? Do you guys know the answer to what does your brain use as fuel? To thousands of permutations per second? It's fat. Isn't that ironic that the very thing we were told in modern medicine to starve ourselves from and to keep low in our diet was fat? And what does it turn out to be? The brain's food, only food. It can't be, the brain can't access any other thing to process, is fat. How did that even happen, is what I wonder. It kind of makes me angry. Not kind of, mega makes me angry. I was told the same exact things, I'm sure everyone was told. Eat diet food. Eat low fat. If you can buy everything that says low fat under the sun, you'll be so much healthier, so much better off. And it turns out the very thing that I need for my aging process and for my brain to not forget everything is the one thing I was told not to ingest in high quantities. Yeah, it's a process. We're learning as we go. It's a process. I'm not, and I was right there with you guys. Right there. I was like eating low fat, eating diet, everything. I thought it would help control my blood sugar and make everything great and blah, blah, blah. And it turns out it just made it worse. So yay for me. Now, my hair is semi-wet and up. So then I'm going to finish drying it and straighten it today. No curls today. I went with bronze smoky. I thought that would look pretty. I think it really, really does. My skin is looking really, really nice. I'm bronzing in Hourglass Luminous Light. I've been really stuck on this one. It's lighter than my Too Faced. It's more subtle. So if you guys want something really subtle for your face to bronze up and give yourself transition, I suggest Hourglass Luminous Light. I just heard that the Hourglass came out with powder, translucent powder, loose powder, and I'm gonna pick some up. I'll let you guys know how it goes. Sounds amazing, but I'll let you know how it goes. I'm sure it's going to be milled into perfection. And I mean, Hourglass doesn't do no wrong when it comes to the quality of the product. I'm going to use Hourglass blush today and stay off my osmosis. This is Euphoric Fusion. It is a beautiful kind of mauve-y blush. And it also gives you just a hint of a glow. Isn't that just absolutely beautiful? Stunning, stunning. Of course, that was Nudie Patootie, Laura Lee, Los Angeles. The best 45 bucks you could spend. Many different looks. This one's probably like the 5th different thing I have done out of this just one palette. So worth the money. Such a great product. Even if you just like kind of basic makeup, there's a lot of nudes in there that will work for you. Matte shades. gonna put on a little bit of Marc Jacobs. Believe it or not, I'm out of lashes. How does that happen? Not for sure how that happens. But I slacked on my ordering. So that's how that happens. When you slack on your ordering, you don't have lashes to wear. So I think I'm going to go to Sephora in person and get some lashes. And I'm going to buy lashes specially designed for hooded eyes. I've had them before, and they have more bulk on the outside corner to give this area of the eye the space that it needs when you have a smaller eye or hooded eye. And hooded eye just means that when you open your eyelid rolls back, hence the hooded eye. I don't like it, never have, but I never really gave it much thought back in the day. I just thought I did great makeup, which, you know, you live and learn. But now my art with my makeup is way high. My blending is pretty strong. It's really strong. I'm always practicing, always trying new things, trying different looks, trying different positioning of my eyeshadow, what looks best for a mature face. Kind of the size of my face, and I have what they call a heart-shaped face, which is a more pointy chin and a wider upper forehead. So my face is kind of making the shape of a heart. Is that great? I don't know. Sometimes I love the shape of my face. Sometimes I don't love the shape of my face. I think that's pretty normal. Sometimes I'm thinking, wow, I might have a jaw here someday soon because of the transformation and weight loss. But don't hold your breath, because the skin is older now and it's not recovering at the pace I would love it to just go and, you know, be one and done. But I'm holding out hope. So the moral of the story is lift some weights, help your brain, take your omega-3. Don't make working out complicated. Even if you hate it, simplify, simplify, simplify. If you have a busy schedule, you have kids in sports, say you're going to go to the basketball game and sit on the bleacher to watch your child play sports, or go to the soccer field and sit in your chair. Pack your 2-pound weight. It isn't heavy. It probably doesn't weigh any more than your big drink that you brought. Hopefully you brought ice water to the kids' game. Sit in your chair, cheer for your kid, lift your 2-pound weight every single day. Later, down the road, it's gonna matter. It's going to help you age and change your life. It's going to help you age a new way. I love you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thumbs up. Hit the notification bell down there so you know when I'm uploading videos. And I know my videos are longer, but what the hey? At first I only kind of loaded real short videos, and if I had 2 parts, I'd cut it off and, you know, keep filming the rest and then unload the second part. But, you know, I do read and try to do my due diligence about YouTube, even though I don't have all the super technology. And it would seem that a lot of people like longer videos. So guess what? I do too. I have a lot to say, and don't seem to be able to just whoop it on my face and throw it all on. I guess I could, but I'm talking, so that slows me down. I'm sharing information, I'm getting ish, and I think that all slows down my makeup process. So, thanks for being here. I love you guys. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on the next video.